It is Tuesday, March 16. Welcome to CGN News. Prime Minister Gaston Brown says an appropriate response is necessary for the damage done to Antigua's economy by a British website which wrongly claimed an Antiguan variant of COVID-19 had been discovered in the UK. Brown said Antigua was already reeling from the shutdown of tourism caused by the pandemic, and the false post has wiped out confidence in the gains made in managing the virus. He said the British government should consider compensating Antigua by a donation of 100,000 doses of vaccine. Brown said officials of the Ministry of Health spoke with officials of the agency in Britain, and they admitted their error in relation to persons they believed were infected with a COVID-19 variant. In a letter, Brown told Britain's Prime Minister Boris Johnson that, quote, no British visitor to Antigua had contracted COVID-19, end quote, in his country. Tourist arrivals to the Caribbean fell by 65.5% in 2020, according to the Caribbean Tourism Organization, CTO, but it is forecasting a turnaround this year. In a statement released on Monday, the CTO said the impact of COVID-19 on the travel and tourism industry was particularly evident during the period of April to mid-June, when there was literally no activity in some destinations. There were 8.5 million cruise visits in 2020 when compared to the 30 million in 2019. Cruise lines plying Caribbean routes remain non-operational due to a strict ban imposed by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. As Jamaica's COVID-19 vaccination drive continues today, parliamentarians and heads of government agencies 60 years and older are next in line. Jamaica's vaccination program began on March 10, and so far more than 12,000 people have been vaccinated, including healthcare workers, soldiers, and policemen. The Ministry of Health is reminding the public that vaccines are being administered according to the approved schedule and is urging people to attend vaccination sites only after they have received their appointments. With Guyana still awaiting word, Jamaica on Monday received 14,400 doses of COVID-19 vaccines through the COVAX facility, the first country in the Caribbean to benefit from the mechanism, which has been criticized over its inability to meet commitments. A PAHO WHO release said the arrival marks a historic step towards ensuring the equitable distribution of COVID-19 vaccines worldwide in the largest vaccine procurement and supply operation in history. Jamaica is expected to continue receiving doses through May until it reaches 124,800, the amount specified by COVAX, a release said. On Saturday, Guyana's President Ifran Ali said there has been no word from the COVAX facility for a month on the 108 doses of vaccines the country should have received. Premier David Burt says more than three-quarters of the current active COVID-19 cases in Bermuda are the UK variant. Burt said 24 of Bermuda's 31 active cases are the UK variant and warned citizens that the strain is more transmissible and more deadly. His disclosure came before the police announced that they had broken up a party on Sunday night that breached regulations. A police spokesman said the organizer, a 40-year-old woman, was reported for prosecution. The party, with 34 guests, were discovered at the property after cops responded to a noise complaint. Gatherings are restricted to a maximum of 25 people under restrictions designed to slow the spread of COVID-19. Healthcare professionals in the Cayman Islands worked flat out on Saturday when some 1,761 COVID-19 vaccinations were administered, the largest number in a single day since the national program was rolled out. So far, 36.7% of the estimated population have received at least one dose of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. But Chief Medical Officer Dr. John Lee says that despite the ongoing success of the vaccine, travelers are still arriving with the virus. Over the weekend, another 6 people tested positive on arrival into Cayman. There are now 730 travelers in home isolation or government quarantine. Government has now gazetted the latest COVID-19 control regulations, paving the way for travelers who are negative on arrival and have been vaccinated to quarantine or isolate for 10 days rather than 14, effective March 22. Overseas now, the influential sister of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has warned the U.S. not to, quote, cause a stink, end quote, as President Joe Biden prepares to set out his Korean policy. In remarks on state media, Kim Yo-jong criticized the U.S. and South Korea for conducting joint military exercises. Her comments come a day before top U.S. officials are due to arrive in Seoul. The U.S. government has said it has been trying for weeks to make diplomatic contact with North Korea. Pyongyang has yet to acknowledge that President Biden is now in office, the BBC reports. The two countries remain at loggerheads over the North's nuclear and ballistic missile programs. More than a dozen countries, mostly in Europe, have suspended the use of AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccine over fears the shot may have caused some recipients to develop blood clots. Sweden and Latvia on Tuesday became the latest nations to halt the rollout following moves by Germany, Italy, France, Spain, Denmark, Norway, and the Netherlands, among others. The World Health Organization is meeting today to review the available safety data on the vaccine, although it has repeatedly expressed confidence in its safety. More than 17 million people have received the vaccine in the United Kingdom and the European Union to date, with fewer than 40 cases of blood clots reported as of last week, AstraZeneca, a British-Swedish multinational, said on Sunday. The Federal Aviation Administration will extend its stricter enforcement against unruly passengers, specifically targeting those who disobey masking policies, the agency said Monday. This after receiving more than 500 reports of misbehaving passengers since December. FAA Administrator Steve Dixon said urgent action continues to be required. The agency is currently reviewing more than 450 cases and have begun taking action against unruly passengers in 20 cases. The passengers who have been fined are accused of assaulting flight attendants, shouting obscenities, and drinking unapproved alcohol on planes. Dixon says he has instructed agency officials to consider both civil fines and criminal charges for reports of unruly passengers. And finally, a mother allegedly used explicit deepfake photos and videos to try to get her teenage daughter's cheerleading rivals kicked off their team. Rafaela Spohn from Pennsylvania, U.S., reportedly sent the content, which showed members of the Victory Vipers team naked, drinking, and smoking to the coach. Deepfakes use artificial intelligence to doctor images and videos. Spohn has been charged with multiple counts of harassment. She's also accused of sending abusive messages to the team, their parents, and owners of the gym using fake phone numbers. The police said Spohn could have used the girls' social media accounts to generate the deep fake images. They believed her daughter was unaware of the alleged incidents. That's it for CGN News. I'm Scott Wilson. Thanks for watching.